Take a seat, my friend.
How are y'all doing? I first want to apologize because Damien could not be here. He unfortunately had a delay on his flight, mechanical issue, so he missed his connecting flight. So he's coming in later tonight, so he'll be here tomorrow to say hi to everybody. So I'll try to be on my best behavior with him not here. So the boss keeps me in line.
Well, we are so happy that you're here. I know this has been like a really exciting time for you guys because you did just have the premiere of Terrifier 3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And obviously we can't talk about spoilers, but there's been a lot of incredible reviews that have been coming out. I'm sure you guys have seen them. What was it like getting to watch Terrifier 3 for the first time with a crowd?
Oh, so much fun. Because that was my first time I got to see the whole entire movie. I'd just seen like little bits and pieces before they were even edited with sound and everything like that. So I was as excited as everybody else was to see the film, and it was fun. Even though it was late at night, I think everybody had a lot of fun there. It's one of those movies you have to see with an audience, and I'm so happy that we're able to put this film in theaters again because people need to have that kind of audience experience again in theaters. I think that's going to, bring more people back to the theaters. So I'm happy we can do that for you guys. So just don't eat too much before you see it.
Well, just to pivot really quickly, only because you are incredibly popular right now, I just recently saw you in Stream. Have you guys seen Stream yet? And getting to see that in the theater with everyone was so fun. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience before you...
Yeah, Stream was a lot of fun. I got to do that with a lot of legends you guys know from like the horror world, like Felissa Rose, Dave Sheridan, Daniel Roebuck, Danielle Harris, Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Bill Moseley, Tony Todd, Tim Curry. It was like, holy crap. We filmed that during the height of COVID, before even the vaccinations came out. We were all quarantined in a hotel in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, for about a month and a half, and we made a movie, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a crazy experience to just wake up every morning like, okay, who's on set today? And I almost got shot on set because this hotel did not tell people that we were filming a horror movie in it. And if you've seen the movie, there's a scene where I'm stalking my victims down a hallway. I'm looking for one of my victims, and I'm covered in blood, and we had really crazy lights going on. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am doing take after take, going down the hallway, and all of a sudden, after one of the takes, this woman comes flying out of her room, screaming, "Whatever you're doing is very effective. We are Second Amendmenters, and you almost got shot." She had a gun. And apparently she had been filming me through the peephole of her room. And so she showed me the video, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I would have been scared too. She was right behind that door with that gun, ready to shoot me if I tried anything. Oh my God. And like, why did they not tell people we're filming a horror movie? I'm like, you kind of need to know that. Because we have people yelling and screaming. We got blood flying everywhere. Like, if someone's just walking down the hallway in the middle of the night to go get ice and they see someone coming around the corner like that, they're going to get scared. So, like, you got to warn a brother,
But it also just goes to show how effective you were in your role.
I guess so.
Scaring
yay, scary.
random hotel guests.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of going back to the theater, something that is so cool is you guys have the Art Terrifier popcorn bucket that's coming out.
Yeah, that's what? It's my head. Cool.
Okay, so what is like your go-to snack to eat in the theater?
I'm really weird. I usually don't snack in the theater. Especially I don't do popcorn in theaters. I don't. I'm kind of a little bit of a germaphobe. I don't like to share food with other people, and so I don't like thinking that my popcorn had been sitting there in a big vat all day and other people are touching it. So it makes me go. Ugh. So I'm weird. I don't eat popcorn in the theaters. But if I do get food, I usually get like some kind of like Reese's Pieces or something like that. Yeah, I love Reese's Pieces. They're delicious.
So I was going to say, I really feel like now just art is everywhere, and I think it's wonderful that we can't escape him, and it's so cool like going into Spirit this season and just seeing all the Art the Clown, like animatronics even. What has that been like for you?
That's awesome. That is something I never expected in my life. I've had so many of like my childhood friends like sending me videos of their kids there like in all these places like Spencer's or Spirit Halloween, all that kind of stuff with like the animatronics or other merchandise. I'm like, this is wild. I never expected anything like that in my life. I'm just, very grateful for it. It's really cool. It's when I used to dress up like different characters, especially Joker. I was a big Joker person growing up, so I was like to see kids dressing up as me for Halloween and stuff like that. That's a trip. That's really. I like last year when I was in New York. I was like walking down the street to go to one of my friend's Halloween parties, and this kid walks by me wearing an Art the Clown costume. He had to be like 6 or 7 years old, and I'm like, nice costume. Just totally like, thanks. I was like, that was wild. That just made me so happy, though.
And it just goes to show what good taste people have to choose to be art, like so smart. I see some in the audience right now, which is pretty cool. So,
Thank
yeah, we're
you.
clapping up in the
Makes
audience.
me so happy. Look at you. You're so pretty. I love you.
And I don't think it's been released yet, but it was Ice Nine Kills, right, that did the theme song?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about working with Ice Nine Kills.
We
and
recently announced that we filmed a video together. That was a lot of fun. I've never done a music video. Never imagined I would be doing a music video. So that was like, what? This is freaking awesome. And it all came together because, Spencer and I met like 2 or 3 years ago in New York City when they came through and did a show, and we all hung out afterwards. We just became instant buddies and stuff like that. And it was like I'm a musician as well. That's why I was a musician before I was an actor, and so I have an appreciation for his talent. That man is an extremely talented man. And I was like, dude, the quality of your videos are amazing. I would love to work together one day. And so he made it happen. And we put together this really fun music video. We actually have some other Terrifier cameos in there that I don't want to spoil for you guys. But it's a fun video. I had a lot of fun. I got to do some fun, crazy things on there. And yeah, I think you guys are going to like it. It's quite the earworm.
Okay, we love an earworm. Awesome. Okay, so, okay. You were kind of mentioning backstage, again, not a spoiler, some of your maybe favorite scenes from the upcoming movie. Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can say stuff without spoiling things,
Okay.
I think. So, I mean, first off, what we were talking about is I think we have a pretty freaking awesome opening to this movie. I'm very excited for you guys to see. It's almost like a mini movie in itself, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm trying not to be biased, but still, it's probably one of my favorite openings to a horror movie. It has that, almost has like a Scream feel to it in some ways, and it's fun, and the sound design is so good in it. There's one part in it too, is like where the sound design is like, oh, you don't necessarily see something, but you hear something, and you're like, oh, that's horrible. Oh, it's so good. So I'm so proud of it. But there's so many other scenes in this movie I had a lot of fun with, because then my favorite type of scenes are the scenes where Art is in public and he's just messing around with people. That's always so much fun for me, because that's usually where Damien just lets me play. And he wrote some really fun scenes like that in this movie, especially one I get to do with a lot of actors I've respected for my whole entire life. And I actually got to just play with them for a few days on set. And that was probably my favorite week I've ever had filming anything.
I was going to say, there seems to be a lot of really cool horror icons that are in the upcoming film. Who's been announced? I know, Clint Howard,
yeah,
right?
Clint Howard's in it. Daniel Roebuck, of course. Chris Jericho's in it. Tom Savini has a nice little cameo in there. Johnny Abrams is in that as well. Yeah, it's. I'm probably missing somebody because we have so many people in there. It's fun, but we actually, it's not just like oh, here I am drinking a beer, type of stuff. They actually have some fun little roles in there. So. Yeah. It was fun filming with all these people. Everybody just went in and just had a blast, and I think it's gonna make people happy.
We can't wait. This is so exciting. So if you guys want to start lining up for questions, and while we're waiting for questions, we haven't even seen the third one yet, but I believe he announced we're already getting Terrifier 4.
Yeah. Once you see part 3, you'll understand why, because it's kind of got like almost like an Empire Strikes Back type of ending to it. So. You're going to be like, oh, my God, I need the next one now.
Is there a horror icon that you're hoping to see in the next film, or that you would like to work with at all?
Oh, God. I mean, that's hard. There's so many people I would love to work with, It's like I'd love to work with, like, Kane or of course, Robert Englund. I would love to work with the King himself, so that would be a lot of fun. Who knows? Who knows? It's like that's what I think is fun. It's like there's so many people that want to be part of these movies and stuff like that, which is it's a trip. Oh yeah, also Jason Patrick is in it too. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. Jason, he's got a very important role in this too. So, yeah.
All right, let's get to the questions from y'all. Hey, what's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Jess. My question is, no one in the Terrifier films is having more fun than Art the Clown. I think that's undeniable. So what are the joys of playing this character?
It's the freedom to just be as crazy and as vile as I want to. It's wonderful. It's just like, just go crazy, go ballistic. And there's like, it's something very freeing about it. Oh, you can just get away with anything you want. I'm like, even at the cons when I'm in costume, I can just walk into a room of people and just flick everybody off, and I actually get applause. I'm like, where does that happen? This is amazing. I could do whatever. People are like, yay! Maybe I should eat a kid. I know, I'm kidding. Kids meal. That's horrible. I'm going. Oh no, I'm not gonna eat a kid. No.
You're in a safe space.
Yeah, safe space, safe space. It's like after all this Diddy stuff, and I need to avoid that kind of.
Art could take them. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Hayden Ralston. My question is, like, what's like the joy of being on the set? Like, do you like it? Like, is it enjoying? Like I would think so because you've made a third one. So, like, how is it on the set? Like, is it fun? Like, enjoying? Like, what's enjoying about it?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of fun on set. I try to keep things as lighthearted and as fun as possible because we're doing some miserable things sometimes, especially for some of my. I mean, I'm having fun. I know sometimes my co-stars are not having as much fun as I am, especially poor Lauren. I mean, oh my gosh, she goes through a lot, Sienna, in these films, and so I try to keep things as light and as fun as possible. I'm always joking around. And we have a lot of pranksters on the set too, and so one thing I really enjoyed doing this time, I had a stunt double for a big scene in the film, and we looked so much alike physically, especially when they put the makeup on him. We had fun fooling everybody on set because we started adapting each other's mannerisms because we're so much different in real life. It's like he's very stoic guy, just stands there, and he's quite the badass. He does all this like kung fu and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't do that. But I was studying his mannerisms, and he was studying mine. So people would come up to me, he's like, Bobby? I'm like, no. Oh, no, David? I'm like, no, it's Bobby. And they go over to him like, oh, okay. David? He's like, nope, Bobby. And they're like, wait. I'm like, look at the shoes. Because that's how you can tell the difference between the two of us, because I was the only one wearing the clown shoes. And they're like, oh, my God. So that was fun just to freak people out that way. And I like to pull pranks and stuff like that. I like sneak up on people and scare them. And sometimes I'm cruising for a bruising, especially with Lauren, because she's got a black belt and she's afraid of clowns, and I always like sneak up behind her and just scare her. And I'm risking my life every single time, but it's worth it for the joke.
Great question. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is TJ.
Hi, TJ.
And I wanted to ask, can we expect the gore for Terrifier 3 to either be on the same level as Terrifier 2 or exceed it? Because I know there's some pretty
No, we went totally PG. This is like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the slaberhood. No, we went crazy, man. We actually this time since we had a bigger budget, we were able to hire on a makeup team to come in and help us, and it's Jason Baker's one of the people that help us out, and also Christian Tinsley's team came in. They are an award-winning makeup team. They did like Westworld, they did Renfield, they did Passion of the Christ. So you know how gruesome some of that stuff looked in that movie. I would just say you're going to have a hard time showering after this movie. And yeah, and there's some nasty things that physically made me hurt just looking at when I'm like, I know it's fake, but I see it and I'm just like, oh God. And yes, I know there is that rumor out there. I want to go ahead and just address the elephant in the room. I did almost puke on set. There's something that really, really grosses me out a lot in real life, and Damien knows this, and Damien can be a little rat bastard at times. and likes to pull things on me. And he's like, I'm gonna put this in this scene, and I'm just like, oh. And this is what's like. Sometimes I have Steve Delacello will sometimes fill in for me for my arm or leg or something like that while I'm in the makeup chair, so they can keep filming things. And I'm like, can Steve come in for me and just be my arm? But like, no, Dave, your face is fully in the shot in this. I'm like, oh God, I hate you all. And there was like a cacophony of smells in that room too at the time, and it was really hot, and that just didn't help. And the stuff we're using did not help at all either. And so, it's you might know it when you see it in the film because you might also have the same reaction to what's going on because it's horrible. This is one of those times where art's doing something that I think is just really, really horrible and nasty, and it's not funny. It's just wrong. It is so wrong. I'm like, you are such a jerk in this scene, Art. I'm like, but yeah. But I didn't throw up. I did not throw up because I wanted to make sure I preserved my makeup because my makeup artist, Heather, would have killed me because she had just spent like 3 hours on my makeup, and I know how she is, and she would be like, you're going to die, David, and I did not want to die that day.
And he did it to you on purpose, Damien?
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
Oh, yeah, he's such a sweetheart.
Oh, we love him.
He's such a sweetheart. Bless his heart. I'm going to get him back one day.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm LJ, and I was just wondering, with the growing popularity and now with Terrifier 3, how long we can expect the series to go.
I have no idea. I hope forever. I would love that. I mean, because I love this guy. I love this character. I think there's so many opportunities and so many possibilities to go from fun places with this character. So I am totally open to going as long as you guys want us to. I know Damien doesn't want to get too oversaturated with things, making like people lose interest and stuff. But I think as long as he's still able to find some fun, interesting stories to tell with the character, we'll keep going as long as we can. But I know right now he's got one story arc that he's really working on, that he's got this whole vision for. But who knows after that? We'll see what happens. It's up to you guys.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Miller Champlin, and my question is, what was your favorite one to film, Terrifier 1 or 2?
Terrifier 3.
That wasn't my question.
I know! But before that, it was Terrifier 2.
Oh, okay.
But now it's Terrifier 3. I had so much fun, but even Terrifier 2 was so much fun. It's just like it was bigger in scope, and I got to do some really cool things in that. Like one of my favorite scenes to film was the Clown Cafe scene. I had so much fun in that scene. It was so much fun because we had a lot of the fans there that were part of the Indiegogo campaign, and so it was fun to have people come in with fresh eyes, and you would see their excitement, and it just added a new energy on set. And it was the week before everything shut down for COVID too, so we had no idea what was about to happen. We didn't know the world was about to go up on us, and so we're like, we're just having fun, and nothing prepares you to light a human being on fire. That was a wild day for me. I literally lit a human being on fire, and that was like, I had fun. I had to call my dad up that day. I was like, Dad, guess what I did? Here I am in my 40s. I'm like, Dad, I shot a Tommy gun, and I lit somebody on fire. And he's like, what? My dad's a NASA engineer, so he's very, very straight-laced. He's like, what did you do today? Oh, okay. Did you have fun? Good. That's my dad.
How does your dad like the films?
He's not seen them. He's too afraid. He likes horror movies, but he likes more like the Alfred Hitchcock type of horror movies. He's not into the blood and gore and stuff like that. So it's like, but I did show him the trailer for part 3, and he's like, oh, wow. Though my sister has seen, my sister's mentally and physically handicapped. And she at the time, when she saw Terrifier 1, she was living in a group home that was very, very religious. And she's gonna, hey, I'm gonna show everybody your movie tonight. I'm like, oh, no. And then she calls me up, oh, so, wow. That was very bloody. I'm like, yeah. She's like, and I saw your butt. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. And like, how's everybody else? I was like, oh, they're kind of freaked out. They think you're evil now. I'm like, well, And she's like, I told him you are. I'm like, of course you did. So, but she's seen both of them. She loves them. So my sister likes horror movies and stuff like that. So I'm excited for her to see part 3. But the rest of my family like, no.
All right. Great question. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Chuck, paranormal investigator and eliminator.
Sup, Chuck?
Hey.
Blech.
So,
I had to. I'm
I've
sorry.
been hearing that since kindergarten.
Oh, I know. I
It's
know.
okay. It's cool. I get it. So, with the horror franchises getting into later sequels, they kind of do a thing where they go to space, New York. Where would you, if Damien gets to that point, where would you like to see Art the Clown?
I would love to see him on a cruise ship.
Perfect.
Because no one's escaping. You're out there in the ocean. You're trapped down there with him. That would be fun. And plus, it would be an exciting adventure. It was like, I get to go on a cruise. So, yeah.
Like a Disney cruise.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, boy. Everybody's going to die. Yeah, I love that idea.
Cool. I
Yeah,
love
in the
that.
morning, in the evening, and we got fun.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Jacob Camito.
Sup, Jacob?
I was curious. Did you take any inspiration from anything when you're trying to get art's motions and stuff down?
Yeah. I have a long appreciation for like great physical comedians and just physical actors. I grew up watching the great silent film era of comedy. Marx Brothers, Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, all those characters. And then my aunt gifted me a box set of Mr. Bean videos when I was about 13 years old. I love Mr. Bean. It's just the best. And I would sit there and just watch those over and over and over and over and over. And I was like, God, I would love to play a character like Mr. Bean one day, the silent, mischievous character. And I was like, that was always in the back of my mind. And I did a lot of physical comedy growing up because I did a lot of children's theater, and children love physical comedy. And so it was like I was kind of cultivating that. So, of course, Jim Carrey, Doug Jones, Andy Serkis, great inspirations for me. But then I had the great opportunity for about 5 years of my life to understudy the late, great Stephen Carl, who played Robbie Rotten from the show Lazy Town on the first 5 tours of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, and he was our Grinch. And if you ever get a chance, you look him up on YouTube, Stephen Carl's Grinch. He's amazing. And Stephen, if those that know Lazy Town, was a master at physical comedy. And so, I mean, I had always been cultivating my comedic sensibilities growing up, but I never had anybody that could teach me anything. Because I never went to school for acting. I actually have a degree in elementary education, oddly enough. I taught children. That's why I'm crazy now. But yeah, Stefan was just he was able to take me aside, and it's like, I see what you're doing. What you're doing is great, but here's how you make it better. And so when I got cast as Art, I had just come off my last tour, and so a lot of what he had taught me was very fresh in my brain. And of course, I called him up, and I'm like, dude, I got this opportunity to play a different version of Mr. Bean, I guess you could say, because he loves Mr. Bean too. And he gave me some great inspirational speeches and stuff like that, gave me some great tips. And so I put a lot of Stefan in Art. So you can probably watch some Robbie Rotten, see a lot of similarities between Robbie Rotten and Art the Clown. So yeah, I just made him a lot more evil.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
So that kind of goes into my question. What was it like going from the Grinch on stage to being in the Mean One?
Oh, that was fun, because that's a character I love. That's a story I have loved ever since I was a kid. That was always a special story to me. That's the great American Christmas story. It's the first American Christmas story. And I love that character so much. And when they cast me in the Mean One, they didn't know I had done the tours of the Grinch. So, and they're like, oh, and my director's like, oh, so this character, the Grinch, where of course we can't say he's the Grinch. You have to call him the Mean One for special reasons. And what do you know about this character? It's like, oh, dude, I toured. I know this story like the back of my hand. I've played him. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. And so it was fun taking that character, but doing something new with him. Because I wanted to, I don't want to just do Jim Carrey during that. I wanted to also make him more beast-like. So I wanted to make him more like a Bigfoot type of character and stuff like that. So I had fun with that. That was a lot of fun. It's like, I only wish we could have had a bigger budget for that film because I think we could have done so much more with it. But I'm still happy with what we came out with. I always feel like it's like the Hallmark version of a horror movie, and I love it. It's this pure camp. So once you go in with that kind of mindset, you're gonna have a lot of fun if you haven't seen it. It's so silly. It's got so many lovely inside jokes to Dr. Seuss characters as well, and Dr. Seuss books. I'm a huge Seuss fan. It goes back to even when I was teaching. I actually wrote a paper because I had one of my English professors in college hated Dr. Seuss, and he thought there was no intellectual value for children in Dr. Seuss. I'm like, oh, excuse me. And I wrote this huge research paper, and I proved him right. He even had a big, huge speech in front of my class, like, he convinced me there is a value to Dr. Seuss. So I was happy to have my own dark take on Dr. Seuss. And I'm about to ruin other people's childhoods coming next January with Screamboat. So, how bye. And it's also made with the same team as Mean One and some of our Terrifier team, so it's gonna be fun. You're gonna like that one too.
All right. Does he speak? What is your name?
Hello, my name is Lexton.
Hi.
With Terrifier 4 in development, is there any plans for a TV series, a game, or a graphic novel?
TV series, that would be amazing. I would love that, but I don't know of anything like that yet. So who knows? That's all up to like. I don't know if Hollywood allow with that, It's like, because that's definitely something that we had to contend with developing Terrifier. I might get into that later on, but video games. Of course, there was the whole Call of Duty thing that recently came out. I'm like, that blew my mind. I didn't even really know about that, so I was like, oh, cool, sweet. But I mean, I would love, because I'm a big gamer myself. I love video games, and of course, one of my dreams is for Art the Clown to be a DLC character for Mortal Kombat. I would I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've been playing that since the very first game where I had to sneak it out over to my friend's house and play it because my mom's like, I don't want that game in my house. So I love that. But I mean, if we can get some video games out, I would be thrilled with that. So, stay tuned. I know Damien has some surprises in store for everybody, so we'll see.
What are you currently playing right now?
I am currently playing Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, that's so I'm having fun with that. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, so. But there's so many other games coming out I got to play. I just downloaded the new Zelda's game, too, so I'm going to be playing that on my flight going back. So I'm like, yeah, Zelda. I'm a big Zelda fan.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Jacob, and what's your least favorite part about playing Terrifier?
Oh, the cold. It gets so cold sometimes because we're usually filming in like New York and New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and it's usually in the winter, so it's very, very cold. So when you're covered in blood in the cold, it's not a fun experience. So especially in part 2 when we're filming in the Fright Factory in Philly, that was all done like January and February, and I know I was cold because they had no heat in there. I felt so sorry for Lauren Lavera that played Sienna because she's wearing basically nothing in that Valkyrie costume. And she's covered in blood and gunk and everything. She was so cold, but we got through it. But, that's probably the worst part of it all. And we just remind ourselves when we're cold and a little bit miserable, it's like, a little bit of suffering now, but all this is going to last forever. So a little bit of suffering for greatness forever.
Hey.
Hi. My name's Luke. At this point, I think it's safe to say that Terrifier movies are giving us some of the most mean-spirited and borderline surrealistic death scenes we've ever seen. So I was just curious, what are one or two of your favorite kills from horror movies of the past?
Oh my God! I mean, there's some really good ones out there, guys. That's what's always hard about now, coming up with new kills for these movies, because there's been so much great kill scenes in the past that have been done. Of course, one of my favorites is from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors, is the marionette kill. I think that is such a gruesome, kind of kill with the muscle. It's so good. It's so good. Of course, I love the face rip in, oh my God. Hatchet, thank you. Brain fart, thank you. I was just talking to Adam Green the other night about that. Let's see what else. I have to bring it up because I thought it was so cool. I mean, I didn't get to see the whole movie yet, but I have seen the infamous kill from In a Violent Nature. I was so happy with that kill. I was like, I kind of felt like I feel like we're starting to find a resurgence of that kind of film now with slashers again, and I kind of hope in a way we're kind of setting a new standard and stuff like that. And I hope we're paving the way. So I was very happy with that kill. I was kind of pissed off that we didn't come up with that one first. I was like, oh man, it's so good though, it's so good though. But those are some of mine. But I mean, there's so many great ones out there. So many. I mean, of course, the sleeping bag kill, all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, there's so good.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Josh. I'm just curious, what is your favorite either horror film or franchise?
I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love those movies. They're so much fun. And I mean, Freddy's my king. I think Freddy is the most brilliant horror creation ever. Because, all these other characters, you can get in a car or a plane or a boat and get the heck out of Dodge if you wanted to, if you were smart enough to. Freddy, you can't. He's in your head. You gotta sleep, because if you don't sleep, you're gonna die. But if you sleep, you're gonna die. And that's a horrifying thought in itself. But then he's horrifying. He's scary looking. He's got this amazing weapon he has on his hand. And the idea of the dream realm, where you can do whatever you want, I was like, the possibilities for kills in those type of movies are endless because it doesn't have to be bound in reality. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Well, also, I'm a big, huge Scream fan. Love the Scream movies. Love the Halloween movies. I love really all these slashers. They're all great in their own way. And another one I always love to talk about is the Chucky series. They just keep finding new ways to just innovate and bring up new storylines and stuff like that. It doesn't get old. I love that. It makes me very happy. They're very creative. I love creativity.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you watching yourself on the screen?
It's you. You're a star.
My name is Jonah.
Hi, Jonah.
And does it get hot in the suit?
It can, especially in part 3, because I was wearing that Santa suit, and that gets very hot. It gets very hot because we can't turn on the air conditioning or the heat or anything like that in these places because of the sound. So it can get very, very hot, and you have a lot of lights on, and you have a lot of people in the room, so the body heat gets a little smelly sometimes too. It's always important to shower. But it does get hot, but you make it work, and sometimes in between takes, I'll just go step outside and get cool. That's a good question.
Really good. Hey.
I love your makeup, by the way.
Hi.
You're welcome.
Sorry you have to squat. Apologies. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Paul. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If Art could talk, how would his voice sound?
Well, see, that's the thing. Is like he's never going to talk. I'm just going to set that straight right now. Because I think whatever voice would come out of his mouth would be like to everybody, because they're like, no, because everybody I think also has their own idea how he would sound in their head. Of course, there's the obvious one, which I like to do on my cameo videos, because I do it just for shits and giggles. I do more of my Joker voice for him. It's like, hello there, boys and girls, and I did that on the Art Krispies bit in the second movie. That's me doing the Art Krispies, a fun surprise in every bite. And that was a placeholder. I was just doing that for shits and giggles for Damien, because I just need something here until we get a voiceover actor to come in and do that. And I just did it, and he's like, well, this is actually good. We'll just use this. And I love someone. There was actually an argument I had with someone online. They did not believe it was me. They thought it was Mark Hamill. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. But no, we don't have that kind of budget for Mark Hamill. But I would think it would be hilarious. This is just me. If he had just a very posh, British, uppity accent, I think it was, hello there, everybody. I'm Arthur the Clown, and I'm here to kill you all. It's going to be so much fun. Of course, that's why I have such awful teeth, because over here in Britain, we don't have really good health care for the teeth, I guess. But I'm silly that way. That's the irony of me playing Art. If y'all don't know, I do over 200 voices in 25 different dialects, and I am now known for being silent. So life is funny that way.
Thank
What a
you.
great question.
You're welcome.
We still have a few minutes left if there's any other questions you guys want to get in. I have a question. Obviously, now having done 3 of the movies, going to 4, and your other projects as well, do you have any wrap traditions, things you like to do once a film's in the can?
I usually just like buy something nice for myself and just chill out. And like, so I kind of what I did, because like right after I filmed Terrifier 3, I moved to Burbank to LA. So that was a big move for me. So I bought a bunch of Legos for myself. I'm a big kid. I never had room for Legos in my apartment in New York, and now I do, and I got a lot of Legos. And I'm so excited. I got a lot of those modular buildings and stuff like that. I'm like, these are fun.
Any Star Wars Legos?
No, I do have a lot of the old ones, the original ones that first came out, the first line, like the old Millennium Falcon and stuff like that. But I have 4 big, huge tubs of Legos that I had from my childhood. Like I have like the old pirate sets and castle sets and all that, and Harry Potter and all that. Now that stuff's probably worth so much money. Right. See, Lego's a good investment, folks. Remember this, because it only appreciates in value. I found like one of the sets I had as a kid, like the very first pirate set, the ship, the Black Seas Barracuda, I think it's called. God, I sound like a nerd. But it's worth I think $1,000 now. I'm like, what? It's so crazy. So parents, buy your kids Legos.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
And since the first 2 movies took place on Halloween and then the third one's on Christmas, what's the likelihood that we'll get another holiday?
Oh, who knows? That's up to Damien. I mean, I don't think he wants to get that campy with it, making him like a holiday killer or something like that. It's just like we just thought Christmas would be really fun. But I'm like, I mean, of course it would be kind of fun to put in like, Easter bunny costume. I saw someone like recently did a mock-up of him with the Easter bunny outfit on, and it looked really good. I was like, oh my God, that's a great look. I think it'll be funny if he does Arbor Day or something like that. Flag Day. Woo, flags. I don't know. He just makes someone into like a flagpole or something. I don't know. Who knows? It's weird.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm short, sorry. It's okay. You can tilt it down or whatever works best for you. Oh,
Or you
that
can
works
just
too.
jump.
Hey, what's your name?
So my name is Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
I'm not sure if you answered this earlier, but what convinced you to be Art the Clown for like the first movie?
Ooh. Well, I had seen All Hallows Eve, before I knew about even the audition, and I loved that character. And I was like, oh, he's like an evil Mr. Bean. He's so cool. I want to play a character like that. And this opportunity came up, and there was a online notice looking for an actor that was tall, skinny, and had experience doing physical comedy or clowning. And I'm like, oh, yes, please, because I had never done film work besides being a background background or being an extra. And I wanted to branch out into that. And it's like, well, I know this is a low-budget independent film. Doesn't pay much, nothing like that. But this would be a great experience for me to finally get in front of a camera, see what it's like to be on the set, and learn the lingo, all that kind of stuff. And I could use this for a demo reel one day, and had no idea this was going to change my life. So you just never know. Just never when opportunities come around, don't always say no. Sometimes say yes, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, these are our final, I believe, 4 questions. Hey. What's your name?
My name is Zoe, and what gave you the idea to have the personality of Art the Clown?
Oh, well, that's the thing. It's like I wanted to find ways to differentiate him from the other silent villains that had come before him, and I like that idea. Like I had said before, he's evil Mr. Bean, and I was like, I always look at it in my head like he's the bastard child of Freddy Krueger and Harpo Marx, and that's how I approached him. And I was like, well, he's called Art the Clown. Well, let's add more clowning aspects to this character, because I think all these other silent characters have a very stoic nature, and not very emotional. And I figured, Art's not stuck behind a static mask. You can see his face, and I was like, I can really use that aspect of him to really bring more emotion to the character, bring more personality and charisma to him. So he's more like almost like a Freddy Krueger or a Chucky character, where he's funny at the same time he's scary. And I just wanted to blend all those elements of all those great horror icons that came before him into him, and I loved it. I loved having that way to express myself, where you can, even though you don't hear what he's saying, you can tell what he's thinking. And it's always fun for me, and that's what I even do in character. Even though I don't have lines, I make up my own lines on set. So I'm saying stuff in my head, so it gives me things to play off of. Sometimes things happen organically just because of what I'm thinking in my head, and I'm also able to get the beats for how I want the jokes to land and everything that way. So yeah.
Hey.
Hey, it's me again.
Hey, welcome back.
Will we ever see why Art does what he does and like his backstory?
I think so. I think possibly maybe in part 4 we're gonna delve a little bit more into his backstory. There's some hints in part 3 if you're listening. But yeah, I'd definitely love to tackle like why he does what he does. But there is a line in the first film that really helped me understand the character. It's what the cat lady says at one point. She says he does this because he thinks it's funny. And I'm like, that's creepy. That's creepy in itself. He's not doing this out of any revenge or anything like that. He doesn't have some sob story or anything like. He finds killing people entertaining. And he's like the anti-clown, because clowns are supposed to be here to bring joy and amusement to other people. He is here to bring pain and misery to other people for his own amusement. So I look at him as he's always performing for an audience of one, which is himself. He's a very selfish creature, and so he's always performing. He's always on stage for himself, for his own amusement, and I love that aspect of him. But we'll probably get into more of that. But in my head, I can't even look at him as like he came out of his mother and used the umbilical cord and strangled her to death. He was just born evil. He is just a jerk.
All right, we got like 3 minutes left, so we're gonna rapid fire.
Hey, it's me again.
Hey.
Was there anything you would like to add to any of the Terrifier movies or Terrifier himself?
Yeah, there is I'm a big, huge Marx Brothers fan, and there is a routine that's in Duck Soup that I have wanted to do from the very beginning that I have had in my head, and I hope Damien finally gives me the opportunity to do that one day. It's just a dark homage to this one classic scene, so that's something I hope to add one day.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Caitlin. If Art had a pet, what kind of pet would Art have?
I think it would be a rat. Art, rat, same letters.
All right, our final question. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Vanessa. Hi. And given that with Terrifier, when we watched Art break a big slasher convention, what was your reaction when they just had you as Art just pull out a gun and start shooting?
Oh, I loved it. I thought that was a great idea. I was like, that night when we did that, I was like, we are going to piss off so many people. And that is one of my favorite moments when we did the first screening of it, is when that moment came on screen. No one was expecting that. And the different type of reactions that happened at the same time was amazing, because you had some people screamed out because they were scared, like, ah! Then you got some people just, well, bull crap, man, that's hard, you don't do that. And you had other people laughing hysterically. That was awesome. So it was a fun moment, because that's a convention people weren't expecting. And I love that, because from that point on, you realize you never know what to expect from this character. He is going to surprise you. He doesn't care about the rules that are in place. And so I think that was a great character moment for him.
All right, so before we wrap it up, we're going to take a big group picture with everybody. And I just wanted to say, so I think the first time I ever hosted for you and Damien was in 2019.
Yeah.
After the first film.
Yeah.
And I've seen you both grow and this franchise grow. And I'm not sure how many of you have met him yet this weekend. Please make sure to get a chance, because I know Art obviously is, not so kind, but you are one of the kindest people I've ever met.
Thank you.
And so I'm so genuinely happy for all of your success.
Thank you.
So I hope we get so much more of Art to come. So any thoughts you want to leave us with here this weekend?
I just want to thank you all for supporting us, and you are the ones that made part 3 happen. And I hope you guys have a blast watching it, even though I'm going to probably ruin all your Christmases this year. So, ho, ho, uh-oh.